I found this movie on YouTube starring Michael Palin. The plot was based on how his great-grandparents met and married. Edward Palin was a teacher at Oxford, and in those days they were expected to be celibate and unmarried. Then, one summer, he met a beautiful girl who had been rescued and adopted very young by a wealthy American woman. This woman took her on a tour of Europe as part of her education. These photos aren't in the movie. I just got curious and tracked all of these things down. Michael Palin only knew that the girl had survived the Great Hunger in Ireland, but he was never able so far to find out anything about her family. Edward and Britta had a few children and raised them at the vicarage. I think she still looks pretty here. Later in Michael Palin's life, some family records were handed down to him, including a photo of a young man in army uniform and the same man as a teenager looking uncomfortable at a family gathering. Here he is at the far right. This was his great-uncle Harry, previously unknown to him. Also unknown was how and where he died. As a young man, Harry had moved to New Zealand for work. He kept diaries and wrote lots of letters, and this is what gave Palin insight into his life. He survived Gallipoli, but died during the Battle of the Somme in France in 1916. Palin once said in an interview that if Harry had lived through the war, he might have been at his 21st birthday party. This is how he ended up in Gallipoli as a soldier with the New Zealanders. A friend tracked down more photos and found the family of the girl that he had loved. There was no grave for him to track down and visit. With miles of trenches and mud and hundreds of thousands of artillery shells, bodies were not properly gathered and buried. But he found his name on Memorial Stone, and he wrote a book that is a beautiful tribute to an unknown, ordinary Englishman. The memory of him is now resurrected in this form. I recommend both the movie and the book.